We're starting a film of our 40th anniversary cruise to Hawaii, 7 days on the Pride of America, beginning on April 28th, 2013. And Jan and I want to share those slides with you. So we'll begin our slideshow, also with courtesy of Pandora music in the background. So there may be some commercial interruptions, and also Jan and I will step in once in a while to commentate during the video. We arrive in Honolulu, and this is our tour of the Pride America.
We went to 4 different islands.
Aloha!
Aloha!
We're on our way to our hotel in Waikiki. We stayed at the Ohana East Hotel.
Yep, that's our room on the 15th floor, room 1518. Our cleaning lady actually remembered it a week later. And we've got little birds visiting us. We could look out to Waikiki Beach from there. And there's the beach. Diamond Head is in the background, the famous Waikiki Beach. Getting toward evening, right, Bill?
Yeah. Getting to be a golden sunset. The sun sets between 6:45 and 7 o'clock in Waikiki this time of year. So we're seeing still a lot of swimmers and a lot of surfers. See a little rainbow over the sun. And dust light up Waikiki Beach.
Just hanging out and relaxing with the leis that we got. Those are called plumeria, the flower of Hawaii that they make leis out of. We each got one at the airport. There they are. Aren't they pretty, those leis? They smell really nice. Flower comes in all different colors, too.
And the sea, the sun settles into the clouds and into the far horizon and the mountains.
That's like a little park just before.
John, are you sure we chose the
You can
right
see
color
that it's part of the park, and you can see the beach out there.
You look beautiful when you turn blue.
And this is our hotel, Ohana East, and we're on the 15th floor.
Well, you did turn about 30.
And our room.
Yeah.
Little balcony.
The Valspar Love Your Color guarantee. If you don't love
Those
the
are the
color,
twin
you
towers.
get another free.
Really? Well, I guess the only thing
A hair clip shape in the background.
And those towers are condominiums in Honolulu. We don't say it right over here. We're on the ship right now, having a drink. Pride of America is the name of the ship. Norwegian cruise line.
And this is the first night as we're deporting, heading on to, I believe, Maui next stop.
Yes. So we go all night here. There's a little party going on.
A little bit of moonlight captured.
Must be morning. This is April 28th, Sunday. These are called rainbow eucalyptus trees. We're on a bus tour.
Right.
There's Bill. He got pretty famous right away. We started out with Steve as our tour guide on a bus, but they were overbooked, so he had to ride on the cooler in the middle of the bus. For half of it anyway. And then it got kind of rough, so then we had to change buses. This is all lava behind us. called the Heavenly Hana Highway in Maui, the island of Maui.
This is the oldest church that's on this island. It survived the tsunami. It's the only building on the island that survived the tsunami that didn't have to be rebuilt. I forget what the year was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think around 1920.
Yes. There were several waterfalls and tropical valleys and streams along the way in this first trip. Bamboo.
And that's for you to pronounce, State Park.
Yeah.
Another bird that we saw in the park.
That was our first lunch, right?
Yeah,
We had a
it's our
sandwich
first
lunch.
Sandwich lunch, yeah.
A lookout, probably.
This is the black coral beach, or black sand.
Mm-hmm. Black Sand Beach, they call it.
And here's some of the caves along the beach.
This is considered a famous highway here in Hawaii. Heavenly Hana Highway. Hana is the name of a town that we end up. We went through Roberts of Hawaii.
Of course, Jan likes the art boutiques. National Park.
That is a crater.
Ikomoma.
It's a crater.
There's some fruit on the trees above the cattle.
The cattle are called poo-poo. No, they're called pipi.
Pipi.
P-I-P-I. Pipi.
And they poo-poo.
And when you eat poi with them, the taro leaves, it's called poo-poo. Here we're at the vineyard, right?
Yeah, found a friend. Some pretty tall trees. Those two trees are over 100 foot tall.
Bill's buddy. I believe we're going into the second day now, right?
We're back at the ship and boarding for the second day.
Haleakala. That's called a silver thorn, was it?
I believe so. Here we are at the top.
To the summit. Unusual trees. Is there a green bus? Robert's tour. Yeah, this is the second day because we had a nicer bus.
This is Harry, the bus driver there, finished our first day and gave us the tour on our second day.
Hi, I'm Holly, he says.
Haleakala. This is old crater, volcano crater.
Yep. In Maui Lau Valley. There was a battle here in 1790, it says. Once a whaling capital of the world.
Not the crater, though.
Not the crater.
Here we are, as you can see, above the clouds. So we, on the way up and down the mountain, we went through the clouds and some rain. Song in the background is one of the famous singers of Hawaii, currently.
What is his name?
His name is, and he's singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Is.
You hear it quite often today on the radio.
Crater pictures. A little cooler up there. We were at 9,000 feet. How far were those mountains away, did they say? They were...
The farthest mountains that you see are about 75 miles away. They're the other active volcanoes.
This whole crater was formed by a volcano.
It was just a landmark that was posted along there.
Ladies' restroom, Wahine and Kane for the men.
Here we are going back through the clouds as we leave the mountain. You can see an old sugar mill in the background. Still a few sugar mills in Hawaii. A lot of the work from Hawaii has gone overseas. And here's La Helena. This is Gary and Karen Harrington's sister lives in this town. We missed getting a shot at seeing them because she is busy at work, but you can see the high school paints the big L on every year. And the gas prices are a little higher than ours. Not a lot, but they are higher.
Lahaina. They taught us the language only has 12 letters, 5 vowels, and 7 consonants, and everything ends in a vowel in the Hawaiian language. So we ate at Bubba Gump's in Lahaina, and then we're leaving there. Iao Valley. Very lush, pretty.
Iowa Needle. Beautiful valley.
Back on the ship, heading to the next destination. Aww.
Had an elephant in our room.
Yeah. Tour 3 was on Tuesday, volcano at Hilo.
We're at Rainbow Falls. Look out.
This is part of Hilo. Hilo is on the big island of Hawaii. It's on the west coast of Hawaii. Now we're heading to some hot areas. Hilo is warm on one side.
Still an active one, as you can see by the steam in the background. And all the lava fields.
Some cacti there.
Won't get to see much of this, but this is like a Jurassic Park or Avatar jungle. The leaves are huge, big rainforest.
Yeah. We're going to walk through Thurston's lava tube, created by the crater, or by the hot lava.
We don't have pictures, but we have movies.
But yeah, that's beautiful there. It looks like a jungle.
Some of the lava that was on display.
They call it the Hilo rainforest.
It's like we...
Oh, that was so neat there.
There's more lava fields. I think this one was in the 1972 time frame where the volcano erupted. Here we're celebrating over a glass of white wine.
74, I think, maybe. I think it was the year Dan was born, maybe.
Here's our friends Paul and Jackie from Chicago area. They joined us
having
for lunch.
supper there with them on the boat.
Paul and Jackie. It's a little floating island, party island that they had out in the bay.
This is called Kona now.
Beautiful coral beach, a lot of diving there. For our son Dan and Kevin, there's the Ironman triathlons are all held here. And we went on a submarine ride. Jan braved us 100-foot dive in a submarine.
Scared at first, but it was fun.
Here we are at the beach looking at our boat.
We had to take the boat tenders on this one. You can see our ship just sits out there. This is where we ate. Underwater adventure.
When you get below, I think it's 50 feet, the color, as you get deeper in the ocean, you lose color, and we actually lost color within the sub. We could only see grays and blues once you got down to 100 foot.
Except for the fish.
This is a World War II shipwreck that we went by.
And some of the debris you saw, or you can see with these, is from the Japan tsunami that happened last year. Not the ship, but the debris down there. Tires, ladders, metal. This is what our portholes look like. They're pretty big.
Probably at least 2
tires.
foot. Yeah, here's some tires, yeah.
There's Bill with his iPad, and I had the camera. Again, we're 100 feet down.
One little fish there in the foreground. And this is the second shipwreck. It's a ship that came to Hawaii from Canada and burned in the bay and sunk. We attached a skeleton to this wreck, and the skeleton, as a joke, the sea company, and it broke loose and made it to shore, and the people on shore called 911 and turned it in, and it made the front page paper. Now the sea company assured us that they strapped the skeleton securely so that wouldn't happen again.
I don't know if we can see the skeleton in any of these pictures.
No, I didn't.
I'm not sure, but there's another one there now.
And there's the submarine. The submarine is a $3.5 million boat.
Yep, called the Atlantis.
Called Atlantis, yes. And it came up pretty close to where our ship was docked at sea. As you can see the sub in front of our boat.
We took a little boat out to get down to the sub.
This is the house of the person that runs Microsoft. We were told that he has a boat half the size of our cruise ship.
There's our tender that we took across from the boat to the shore in Kona.
Here's one of the hula hulas on the beach, and here again is the floating island with the skidoos and everything else on there.
Now it's evening.
This is our entertainment stage. This is a group of singers that performed Frankie Valli tunes.
Yep, they only were together for 2 weeks.
Our friends Dan and Michelle, and then now Jan and I posing for a picture.
Dan and Liz, yeah. There's the islands.
Here's some of the interior of the boat. Stairways, all of them had pictures of U.S. things up the staircases.
Yeah.
We were on the 9th floor, room 90, what?
9134.
9134 on the Pride of America. This is the main galleyway.
Yeah.
Here again is the owner of Microsoft in the harbor. One of the owners.
That was May 1st in Kona. This is Thursday, May 2nd in Kauai.
Here,
a helicopter.
Here we get to see a helicopter ride. We also have videos that we have on our own. But
It's a little windy. Yeah. Nathan was our driver, or our pilot.
Our pilot, yeah, a young
pilot.
pilot. He flew in Iraq. He has a family there now and a little couple,
Yep.
1 or 2 young kids.
38 years old.
He thanks for our visiting, supports his family, and doesn't make him have to work, he says. So he says this is all enjoyable.
This is the Nepali coast. Can't get there by anything but boat or air. No driving, no roads. Not sure where we are here. We might, yeah, we're probably still in Kauai.
There's a nice flower pot made out of a truck. I believe this is a Buddhist temple. And here's another one of our bus drivers. Is it Larry?
Oh, I'm mixed up on their names now. Don't remember what their names are.
This was a planetarium that we visited. Here's a brand new John Deere dealership that just opened. Here's a lava spout, or a water spout, I guess they call them, in the lava.
And it sounded really, real loud. What was it? Kind of a thunder sound. There's a kiki.
We always run into a cat. My sister Karen seems to have her angels.
That's Maureen. She's from Dallas, Texas, originally from Australia. She left her husband behind, so she's taking the trip herself.
Captain Cook Memorial. Another John Deere tractor mowing the practice field. Some of the floral vegetation along the highway. Another temple. And the Kauai Coffee Company.
There's Kona Coffee and Kauai Coffee, and we like this one a little better, I think, the flavor.
I actually see people that carve their names into the leaves of the trees. This isn't a coffee tree, it's just the vegetation that was in the coffee.
Yeah,
Coffee
we got to
plantation.
see coffee plantation. We also went to pineapple and macadamia nuts. And a wine grove, wine tasting too. Waima Canyon. This is Friday,
Very colorful.
May 3rd.
It's like a Grand Canyon.
Yep. It's called the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. We went to the Hanapepe Lookout. It was really cool. It actually looked a little hazy, but it turned out pretty good with the pictures. It's very pretty.
Because some of the areas of Hawaii get up to 130 inches of rain in the tropical areas, and there's one side of Maui that is burnt dry, like a desert.
This canyon is 2,800 feet deep and 10 miles long, 1 mile wide. Yeah, and this is Friday, May 3rd. That's really pretty there. A lot of different colors. We actually got to see that canyon from the air on Thursday from the helicopter, along with the Nepali coast. And the 7 waterfalls that were used in Jurassic Park. freighter. It was pretty cool.
Not too big, fat and small. The people there know they got it all. A simple life for me.
Are we leaving the Polly Coast too?
Yeah, we're leaving here, yeah. Here's some of the Nepali coast. You can see a cave. This particular cave that's right there in the foreground was used in several movies. Johnny Depp's and Temple of Doom. Both of those movies.
Some of the Pirates of the Caribbean was
Pirates of the Caribbean with Johnny Depp. This is Bellows Air Force Base entrance. They got a big Air Force Base. It's a communications tower or a radar. There's 1,500 steps up to that tower. So. It's a macadamia farm outlet. This is some of the people on our tour with us in the foreground.
Pretty hard to crack the macadamia nut. Very difficult. We got back on Saturday morning and from the ship, and then they took us on this bus tour of the Arizona, USS Arizona, the ship that was hit in Pearl Harbor. 900 men went down with the ship, but 1,100 on that one.
That was a tree of life that you just saw there. Represents the men that died. And here's our replica of the Arizona. And one of the torpedoes that was found aboard this boat that was still active, and they had to deactivate it.
Here we're actually out to the site.
Some of the ships in the area, in the harbor.
The Utah and the Missouri are out there too that sunk after
Right.
they were hit too, right?
Yeah, there's a total of, I believe, 5 ships that sunk out there.
Yeah. Nobody knew the Japanese were coming across with their airplanes. That's part of it.
This is the Arizona submerged below the memorial. See portions of it sticking out of the water. And parts of it can be viewed down through the memorial.
You can look right down and see the ship in the water.
If you look closely, you can still see oil slicks on top of the water as they're seeping from the ship. They said they'd be that way for another 20 years at the rate they're flowing.
I actually saw bubbles though. You could see the black coming up out of there as little droplets.
This is the deck of the memorial.
You're looking down into the top part of what's left of the ship. All the names.
All the names of the people that were honored and died aboard the ship. Now, there were a few Ellises on there. An R. Ellis and a W. Ellis.
FA. There's part of the ship too. So it's a graveyard to 900 men down there. 1,100 altogether passed away.
Here's another oil slick that you see on the water.
You can't imagine since, was it 1944, was that?
34 or 40?
No,
44. Here's looking down into one of those spouts that were along the way. That you see here in the foreground.
So it's the burial ground of those men.
Nice memorial.
They asked everyone to not be too loud on there, just to be respectful. Here they're taking us back to shore now. A lot of military there. All kinds. can travel to Hawaii if you're in the military or retired, and at much less expense. They have designated motels and bunkers that you can actually stay.
It's one of the submarines in the bay. Shot from shore. This is the anchor of the U.S. Arizona.
It was found 200
This
miles
is an
away.
author of the War in the Pacific book that we got an autograph from, and I brought a book home.
One of our bus drivers. I don't remember all their names. Many of these areas are
It's our friends
overused
Paul and Jackie again.
movies. Now we're back at Waikiki Beach area. That's a banyan
Here's a
tree.
T-shirt I could have bought. John Ditter. John Ditter.
John Titter shirt. Bill didn't get it.
Jan's Getter Shaving Ice.
The ice shave is really
Here's
good.
a walk down the Waikiki Beach. All the people
Over
strapped
to
their
Duke's.
boards.
Over to Duke's, where we got our lava pie, right?
It's our friends Jackie and
There's the
Paul
pie.
eating the lava pie.
Ice cream, cookies, and chocolate. We had one too. We shared ours.
This is one of the highways above Waikiki. This is our boat. Or that's us at Cultural Gardens, excuse me.
At the Polynesian Center, right? Yeah.
Leading into the Polynesian Center here.
That was really a cool day. We got to see all the different islands.
All the customs of the different
customs,
islands.
I should say.
The little show house with a luau at the end. We had dinner at the Cultural Center.
Well, before this, we had a traditional luau with a pig roast. A different day. There's another rainbow eucalyptus. This is actually the pig roast.
This is the pig roast that shows you before, and this shows you the pig covered up afterwards.
It's cooking underneath that sand with banana leaves below that, and coals below that.
We took a canoe tour around the Polynesian Gardens, and then eventually saw a show.
Banyan tree. This came from India.
Yeah, banyan tree from India.
Things were brought over.
Here's our guide, Oz, guiding our boat.
Yeah,
That's where he got his start in the Polynesian Cultural Center. Oh, he has a home and a family right down from the Polynesian Center. This is us riding our boat.
He was our YMT tour guide. Fiji, that one says there. We could go around and see what the traditions were like, how they danced, what they ate, the different islands. I was surprised that New Zealand was part of the Polynesian. Never thought of it that way. And those are noni. Noni are very healthy. They look like potatoes, but
They dry them out and get the
get
juices.
the juice out of there. Here we're getting a
hula lessons.
Well, for chameleon's sake,
This is
I'll-
Oz, our guide, showing us a banana fruit in a tree.
You know how fickle I am.
And you can
Well,
see the plant there.
about 30 colors yesterday.
They have apple bananas. They're littler
There's the
and they're
Valspar
sweeter.
color
And he
guarantee.
said they in Hawaii they cook a lot of the green bananas.
Really? Well,
They
I
said
guess
they
the only thing to discuss now is
prefer
crickets
doing
inside
that.
your grasshopper curry.
This is paintings inside the Polynesian Center. Huge building, as you can see. This is just one end of it, and here's a panoramic of half of the building. Here are some of the shows, different boat shows that they have with the different islands.
Yep, they put on a dance for us. This is Fiji. This is what the king would stay in.
Yeah, there's the king's bed in the back, and then the little mat in this is for his wife in the foreground.
This is New Zealand singers and dancers.
Here's Oz, our tour guide's family, who lives right next to the Polynesian Center. Here's Twilight at the Polynesian Center, which was very pretty. You had like a reflective pond at sunset. This is the theater inside the Cultural Center.
We had quite a
And that's a lookout from the top of the mountain. Can't think of the name of the mountain.
Oh, there's a group of us. Now, the name of that mountain.
I don't need it. It's fine. Just
All right.
Here's one of the surfers. They get quite large waves at certain times of the year. They set up to 30 or more feet, but very risky. This is a shot at the White House on top, the three-leveled. This one right here in the middle, it was Keanu Reeves' house. He is one of many celebrities, along with Oprah and others, that are in this richest part of Hawaii.
Yeah. I think this is our last day. It's called the Grand Circle Island Tour. And we end up at Sunset Beach, and you'll see how beautiful that is. It's on the other side of Waikiki, the other side of the island. People were swimming in those bays.
Very treacherous tidal, what do they call them? Riptides.
Yeah, riptides.
So people took a chance swimming here, but many did, and it's a lot of little pools.
Yeah, all the beaches are open to the public. Anywhere.
There are no private beaches in Hawaii. There's a chair of the gods you can see out in the distance.
Beach after beach. This was really pretty water. This was really, really gorgeous.
There's a little memorial on shore for one of the surfers. As you can see, Jumbird.
This island is Oahu. Honolulu is on Oahu. I think we're heading down to the Samoa. There he is. To the Samoa.
This guy did
Polynesian group.
This guy did a very funny presentation, told about the island and their tradition. He actually started fire with that log, and here's Jan getting some shreddings from some coconut, and waiting for his approval. Here's the guy that or a lady in our group that smacked him in the hiney, so she got kisses from all the men in the group.
There were roosters everywhere.
On every island.
Yeah, roosters run wild.
This particular spot was
This is where we go.
a private pond where they had Fantasy Island and several of the Lost show. Other ones were done at this site.
We all got the headbands the women did that the men were making in front of us during the show. This is a plant to help your migraine headaches. TI, but not regularly T.
There's a worn-out tractor on the plantation.
Hang loose sign.
It's a couple friends that we had on the trip.
Is this sugar cane?
I'm not sure there or not. This is on that same ranch plantation.
Just go for miles and miles.
lot of beautiful shorelines in Hawaii and the different islands. And beautiful sea. Another John Deere tractor out in the pineapple fields working their way. Pineapples are actually a plant that are only a foot or so off the ground.
Yeah, they really
And they
short.
harvest one pineapple a year off of each plant. And here's the Dole pineapple, one of the last plantations. A lot of the pineapple have gone to other countries. Dole's one of the last ones there. With they produce mainly pineapple for the islands, and they don't export much anymore off of the Hawaiian Islands.
There's another eucalyptus.
Rainbow.
There are a lot of other trees that we've been showing here that are called monkey pods. They almost look
This
like
is
an
a
oversized
blowhole in the
bonsai.
lava. This is back at our dock. So are some of the friends on our ship waiting for the last day. This is ourselves leaving the ship, parting to go back to our hotels
Yeah.
for our last
Still
day.
had a couple days. We went in on Saturday and then we ended
Some
up
of the
leaving on
views
Tuesday.
around the city.
It's a city tour. There's Diamond Head in the background, I believe.
This is on a ride up into the hills into a military national memorial cemetery where they honor a lot of military people, which is almost full right now.
There's the monkey pod trees.
There's the memorial to all the soldiers. Now this is back downtown. It's in front of the state capitol. That's the bell that was placed there. Bill was from.
I think this is the park that everybody goes to. Don't they?
Yeah, this isn't right downtown. This is the house I told my sister Sue we bought.
Was that the stadium where they do the
Indoor, some of the just the lighter.
Pro Bowls?
This is Shu Wen. She maintained our floor at the Ohana hotels. This is a lady that we had fun with at Denny's. This is a list of the people that were in our YMT group.
Worked really hard there. They had a board for YMT that we went through and
That was our airline departing times they had, so we just.
telling us what's going on for the day. There's our group.
This is our YMT group at one of our. That's not an entire group, but some of them.
Mostly, yep, maybe missing 2 or 3. We went to an orchid, what was a floral shop.
Yeah. And this
Jeez,
is
those
to
orchids
end
were
our show.
gorgeous.
We're going through. There was over 70 shots of different orchids. I forget the name of it, but we'll see the picture probably in the end. It didn't come up. But in the end of this slide film here, they'll have an orchid that was worth $20,000. It takes a while to get a new breed of orchids. And this is quite a few in this store, and it's a nationwide store that you can order these orchids. I think it's called
Yeah,
Ambrusa.
yeah, something like that.
But this is coming up on the end of our slideshow. But we'll let you kind of watch through them. The beauty of the orchids that they have here that
Some of them there smell.
you can also order online. You know, they have some that smell like chocolate, different perfumes.
Yeah, that was amazing. Almost looks like get tired of looking at the flowers in that area. Anywhere. Hawaii has the most beautiful trees. The hibiscus is the state flower, right?
I think so, yeah.
You see a lot of yellow hibiscus, but we see every color, but yellow is predominant.
So if you need any orchids, you know where to go for them. They have a site on Facebook. You see what the flower shop is. Had a slide, but maybe we'll see it here. We'll see it by the end of the show here. Here it is, Akaturuska, I believe it is. I don't know how to pronounce that, but they do have a spot on Facebook and online that you can order. What's the name of the city?
How many orchids there are, shapes and sizes, colors. Akatusa. Orchid garden. A lot of these flowers are not yet developed. They're in experimental stage, so you'll eventually be able to purchase them. Several of them you can, but not all of them. Akatusa Garden Center. Here you go. Here's your $20,000 plant. You can look online to read more about it. That one plant, $20,000. I don't think that he was able to duplicate that plant either.
They haven't been able to duplicate it, but you can read about it at the Akatusa Orchard Gardens. This is the end of our film today. Jan and I would like to thank you for joining us. We had a great time, and please, we want to thank Pride of America and Norwegian Cruise Lines, and also Pandora Music for providing our background.